Right, a very good afternoon, good morning, and good evening to all on frequency. This is Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India, operating the DATV Net. Today, hosting the net, not many people on. I think, to be honest, our time might just be a bit too early for the Northern Hemisphere, as it's slap bang in their lunchtime. So we are considering possibly moving the time up by 2 hours to coincide or to sort out the 2 hour time difference that, for example, the UK, just as an interest, when the clocks went back. So we'll put that to the vote, and I'm sure we'll get comments on the various forums. And I'll put something else on the DATV Net forum just now. But anyway, that is one issue to discuss. We just, as usual, wish to welcome everybody that's watching on YouTube and also on the DATV channel. I hope you're going to enjoy it today. And we don't have a really packed setup today, but we have a nice chat about something new in satellites from Tom. And we'll have to introduce Tom. 2 hours, yes, 2 hours, I think, Mike, that's what we want to do. We want to reintroduce Tom. You'll see why in a minute, for those that do know the guy. But anyway, it's all good fun. I just want to see 29 megs maybe, okay. Yeah, we don't be off about this, okay. I'm just looking at who's on frequency. So we have today myself, Tom will follow, ZR6 Tango Golf, ZS1 Mike Leon, and then everyone else is listening. Ed will be on in Brazil, Papa Yankee 2 Radio November, and it looks like Mike's got a problem in his station with his amp. That's Golf Zero Mike Juliet Whiskey. He saw some expensive smoke coming out, and we actually saw it as he clicked on. You could just see the smoke coming out of his amplifier. So I don't know what the heck. I certainly hope you sort that out there, Mike, in good time. If this had happened last week, Natalie went back to London last night, I could have sent you another amp. I've got a spare. I could have just asked her to drop it off, and so that we don't have you off there, or at least then post it to you. But we can always make a plan if you need something. I have a couple of spare amps, the Sorrow amps as we call them. So if you're... oh, it was Steam. Yo, Blikskorrel. He was joking, guys. He had us fooled. Okay, you got us. You caught us. This is not April Fool, Michael, have you know. Yeah, okay, you caught us good and solid, including Leon there. Hey, Leon, he had us worried for nothing. But okay, good to see you, Mike. I love your wit. Okay, once again, guys, I just want to say thank you to the Qatar Satellite Company, to AMSAT DL, and also AMSAT UK, and of course the British Amateur Television Club, for making all this available, the technology, the know-how, the assistance, the help. It's been fantastic, and that's really a true mark of amateur radio. And we have highly technical guys like Mr. G0MJW, who can also pull your leg at times. So it's not only a stiff upper lip stuff. Today, Tom's going to tell us a little bit about his Green Cube adventures. He's been having a lot of fun. The first one in South Africa on Green Tube, and he brought another chap also from our area, Louis. He brought him onto Green Tube as well. The guys are having fun, and that's what it's about. There are a number of new amateurs in South Africa that's interested as well, and we certainly hope that they will come on in due course on DATV as well. So we're looking forward to when that happens. I just want to see something. I want to say hello to Henry. He's back from Portugal, not for long, and then he'll be back in Portugal. But this time I hope he takes a station with him. We want to welcome Marcel, ZS6MFA. He's going to be watching. He's quite keen. Ronald, he always watches. Nico, ZS6QL. He's the president of the South African Radio League. We welcome Monty, ZS6AFA. And of course, Leon, ZS6LMG. And Chris Turner, ZS6 Golf Mike. And then Dr. Kwesi Smith, him and I wrote the ham exam at the same time many, many years back in 1973. Kwesi's, he's not interested in coming on. He's got issues where he lives, but I just wanted to send him the link so that he could see that what's cooking, what have we been doing in the last few years of DATV and amateur radio. And Marcel is watching. Yeah. No problem, Marcel. And let me just see who else is on. ZS6YLB. Hi, everyone. And also ZR6JV is on. Was it? Yeah, JV. And Johan's going to come on very soon. Hi, everyone watching on QO-100. That's Johan Lemon. He has got an amp. He's got this whole station ready. He's just waiting for the Christmas holidays to break in, and he'll be on. And Dave Shaw, hello Dave, I did mention you earlier. Let me just tell you who's listening. It's Mike 5 Tango X-Ray Juliet, that's Dave in the UK, he's at work. ZS6 Mike Charlie Henry, he's just in from Portugal last night. And then Bert is also only listening, Papa Alpha 3 Alpha Oscar Delta, and Papa Alpha 3 Fox Bravo X-Ray Benno is also listening. And of course, Ed's on, Papa Yankee 2 Radio November, and then Mike. Right, with that, let's swing it around to Tom, ZR6 Tango Golf, to take it from ZS6 Yankee India. 6 Tango Golf to take.
Okay, that should be better. Okay, hello everybody. It's been a while since I've been on. Been quite busy with work and such. And yeah, also playing with satellites more. Talk about a bit new one that's been interesting. And then yes, I got a haircut. See, fantastic haircut. Still getting used to it. Okay, so I wanted to talk a bit about the Green Cube satellite that was launched. I don't know exactly when it was launched. It was let's see if you can see that. No, but it's currently in orbit and it's operational. And what makes this satellite fun? Well, let me start with some pictures. So it's called the Green Cube satellite, and it was originally designed as an experiment on there where they're actually trying to grow some greens on there. There's a nice YouTube video, but I couldn't for the life of me find it now before the net, but there's a little video showing the cultivation of little microgreens inside the satellite. It's a 3U CubeSat. But what's nice about it is they also added some amateur radio payload on it, which is essentially a digipeater. So you send it some text and it will, just to simplify it, you send it some text and it will retransmit it. But the other nice thing about the satellite is actually the orbit that it's in. Where most LEO satellites are, 300, 400, 500 kilometers, this one's actually over 5,000 kilometers up. So if we have a look at the footprint, so there's an example of a couple of satellites and their footprint. So the very big one, the very big circle, is obviously our QO-100 satellite. And the very small ones, you've got the ISS there, you've got the Falcon sat there, and then in the bottom right corner there's the Inspire sat. But the second big circle is the Green Cube footprint. So you can see when I took the screenshot there, it basically covered most of Africa, it covers India, goes there into almost Europe, and even a little bit of Australia. So it's got a nice, very nice footprint. So initially when I started playing with this one, just trying to see if I could receive the telemetry of it, and also just the beacon and the data from the digipeater. It was a bit of a pain. I could see the packets on the waterfall in my SDR, but I couldn't for the life of me decode them. And like I say, this one is a bit further away than our typical LEO satellites. So I had to improve my station a bit, and I found these nice little low noise pre-amplifiers. I got one for 70 sems and one for the 2 meter band. Although I haven't put the 2 meter band one up yet, I've only been playing with the 70 centimeters one. And that made all the difference, and I could essentially start decoding the packets. So what you see there on the screen is when I just started, I used the basic SDR and then connected to G-Predict. That basically controls the rotators and also the frequency. Adds the Doppler effect. Now this green cube is the digipeater is a simplex, so your uplink and your downlink is essentially the same. Obviously you need to compensate for the Doppler on both sides. I made a boo-boo in the beginning where I only applied the receiving Doppler, but the Doppler for your transmit and the Doppler for your receive should be different, and that made all the difference. And so as soon as I got that going, then I could actually start making contacts. So there's another piece of software. It's the digipeater software, and you basically it's a bit of a more text thing. I think FT8, but custom messages and that. So I can transmit to CQs and answer other calls and stuff like that. So it's been a fun week playing with this satellite. I've made some fun contacts. I've got a couple guys in India. One that I see on almost every pass is VU2 LBW. I've got a few contacts in Italy. The latest one was IK7EOT. And then all the way to Australia as well, and also New Zealand, the ZL3MH. And then our first Africa to Africa contact was to Sudan, and the call sign there was Sierra Tango 2 November Hotel. So it's been fun playing with or making all these contacts. There's a few more ones that I want to try, so I'm busy improving the antennas and such as well. And then also got just a small little video clip. You can just see on the icon what it looks like. So there's me transmitting, and then almost immediately after that you can see the packet that was digipeated by the satellite. You'll see it now in a second there again. There's me transmitting, and there's the satellite repeating. Can't hear the audio on my side, so I don't know if there was audio on there. But yeah, that's pretty much been what I've been busy with for the past 2 weeks. It's been quite a challenge. It's not the easiest satellites to work with, but it was definitely a lot of fun. And then while I was on the roof, I just took a picture and see my my little ham satellite corner is getting a bit hectic there with all the satellites and the antennas and stuff like that. My neighbors absolutely love me. Okay, that's pretty much it from me. Let's see who we've got after that. Ed, you're on today as well. I'm pretty sure I saw your call sign on one of the green cube passes that I was playing with. I'm fairly certain it was you, but I think it was just a glimpse there. But if it is, then we should definitely set up some skates and see if I can make a contact between Africa and Brazil via that satellite. That would be fun. I've seen other Brazil call signs there as well, so I'm fairly certain you and I should be able to do it as well. So something to keep in mind. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna hand it over there to Leon. ZS1 Mike here from Zulu Romeo 6 Tango Golf.
Okay, Tom, ZR6 Tango Golf and the group ZS1 Mike returning. That's very, very interesting, Tom. You must just give it a couple of frequencies. And you also mentioned 2 meters, so I saw the 435.310 for 70 sims. But what would the 2 meter one be? Even if I can just monitor it, and see what I can get. But it sounds very, very exciting. Okay, not much from this side. Hello to all the receiving only guys. There's a whole list of you. Just as an experiment, Gary. Again, this is the full frame, and this is the small frame, small chip camera versus full frame chip camera. So yeah, it makes a huge difference in the depth of field. Okay, so yeah, Tom, you look much more streamlined now, I must say. Yeah, that's very good. Okay, I must now give it to, I think I'm going to give it to Mike. G0 Mike, Juliet Whiskey, with the smoke. Yeah, we forget that it's winter on their side now, Gary. And just a cup of coffee would make quite some condensation. Right, Mike, you take it from ZS1 Mike.
Okay. I think you caught me out there, Leon, because I was expecting Ed to go next. I didn't realise he was only receiving. But maybe he is. If not, I guess I would normally pass it back to Gary, but pass it on to Ed next. Yeah, Tom. Well, I assume it's Tom, actually, and not Tom's younger brother. But nice, nice new haircut. I might try Green Cube. Unfortunately, I don't have my elevation rotator on the mast anymore. Actually, it's got the 10 meter beam on that mast now, and the original elevation rotator failed. And then I got a replacement one which wasn't as good. It was an older one, and its pot went very, very noisy. So at the moment I don't have an elevation rotator, so it would be a bit tricky to get in just using the horizontally polarized terrestrial Yagi. But I might have a go anyway. I've got the equipment to do it, so wait and see. But I've been very, very busy for the past few weeks, as you probably know, and that's why I wasn't on Sunday. I had to get on a train to go to London to get ready to get on a train to go to Paris, so that's where I've been. And I got back on Thursday, just Wednesday actually, Wednesday night, very late, and just in time for the net on Thursday, so I joined that. Anyway, I've been concentrating on 29 megahertz, and we've been putting more signals across the Atlantic. Several of us are now active. 3 of us were on yesterday. We didn't have any success, but we're hoping maybe today things will improve. I'm just going to go over to the Polycom to show the setup. I think I've showed this before, but it's always worth another go at that. So that is the amplifier, and if I zoom in you can see the palette and the USB fan, which is used for the cooling. And if I go to the other preset, preset 2 I believe it is, there we go. That is the palette that you can see. Now these had gone out of stock, but is it going to focus? A bit too close. These had gone out of stock, but they're now back in stock in Mouser. They had 50 when I looked yesterday. I suspect a few less today. There's also the 100 watt version, which is a bit cheaper in stock. But these are the 300 watt palettes, and they give easily 100-150 watts of DATV. Actually, depends on your conscience and the level of the shoulders that you generate and what modulation scheme you're using. They run off 50 volts at about 5 to 6 amps, so not too difficult. You can even use one of those Meanwhile power supplies if you haven't got a high power 50 volt supply, because you only need about 400 watts maximum input. And 300 watts is probably enough actually. The only thing is it's all the time, so you've got to have a system that's capable of continuous transmission. Otherwise, the power supply will suffer. Yeah, now the 2 hour change, Gary, plus 2 hours would put the net for us at 3 p.m. I guess that's okay. It's a bit inconvenient and it clashes with lunchtime at the moment. So I suppose 3 p.m. is okay. But in the summer it would be 4 p.m, which is getting a bit late. So it depends on how long it goes on for. Going the other way, if you went going the other way, that would make it 11 a.m, which would clash with the QO-100 SSB net. It'd be just about the same sort of time. But I think Ed would be getting up very early. But it would be better for our Indian and Indonesian friends. So not sure really. Maybe 2 hours is too much. Maybe we should consider 1 hour rather than 2. Don't know what you think about that, but there we go. The other thing is I'm starting to hear the New York repeaters again, so 10 meters is opening up. It was just before the net. It's disappeared now, but I suspect actually my transmission might be desensitizing the receiver. It's not the 2.4 gigahertz, it's a switch mode power supply driving with PA, I think, generates a little bit of noise. So that might be what the problem is. I'm just looking at the signal on the IC705. Okay, with that, I don't have very much else to add, so I'll pass it to Ed if it's Ed, and if it isn't Ed's go. And I'm not looking at the chat, so sorry about that. I'll just have a quick squint at it. Doesn't say anything. Okay. So, now the other thing is I'm going to advertise the BATC net, and this test card's been across the Atlantic. So this is our net. 8 o'clock, Thursday evenings. Everyone, welcome. So, with that, round to Ed, I guess. PA, or maybe not. So, let's see.
Yep, all right. I think that's it for me. Just adjust a little bit of power here. Okay. Audio kind of slow, but I think it's fine. All right, hello guys. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Yeah, all right. Very nice, very nice. Yeah, putting RX only on that TX list generates some confusion. So that's why I always emphasize the list is to put only people that actually will join the WW DATV Net who will transmit. We are very glad that all the people are receiving, and via the YouTube that Gary is relying to, and also here on the satellite directly. But the list, please, let's keep only TX stations would be better. I'm very glad that Tom that you cut your hair. No, nothing about nothing to do with your hair. I'm very glad that you bring green cube to the table here, and it's something that I'm also trying to have fun in the last couple of days. But to be honest, my friend, it's not been easy. I do have a good reception. Actually, the orbit for me is just starting, as you guys can see, and the interesting thing about the this MEO, MEO, is that it takes more than 1 hour, but so it's really nice. As I said, I get good decodes, but the challenge for me is being transmitting and get. I never know, because maybe my TX are here is too slow. It's too slow to get my packet to receive my own packet, or the satellite is not getting my packets. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I'm facing some issue with the Doppler. Like you said, we are working in simplex here, so kind of difficult, because like you said, I mean, the Doppler to receive is X, and the Doppler to transmit is Y. So I don't know how it will, if the software is acting correctly on a simplex mode. The software that I use is SDR console, the satellite tracking, which is embedded on the SDR console, and it does a good job on the UV or VU mode satellites when you uplink in different bands and receive in different. It does a great job, but in simplex, I don't think it's doing the right thing, Tom, because it's rare to get repeated. Like if I do like 50 packets transmitted, maybe I'm getting 1 or 2 repeats. So, and quite good station here for LEOs and for HEOs and everything. So I have enough power. Is about have about 50 watts. Antenna is 40 minutes circular polarization, and that's being a challenge to get repeated. But still working on that, and hopefully everything gonna be okay. I understand also the packets conflict, because not only me obviously is trying to uplink many other stations, and so we got some conflicts obviously. And I don't know if you realized, Tom, the last past days it was on 300 baud, and 300 baud is even worse, because each packet lasts forever, and well, it's better to tune up, but to transfer information 300 baud, I think it's too slow, and we're gonna get lots of collisions. That's my point. I don't know, but it's a very interesting satellite, and yeah, it worth spend some time trying to work this. It's very interesting. Very impressed with your contacts with Australia, New Zealand. Actually, ST2 and H and VU2 LBW is very familiar guys here on the QO-100 as well. One is Nader, the other one I think is Lucky. Yeah, those guys are pretty active here on QO-100 as well. But congratulations anyway, you contacted them via GreenCube. All right, my friends, regarding the change of timing, I'm with Mike. I vote for just 1 hour ahead. Yeah, I think would be I mean, just to start, maybe would be better just 1 hour. My dear Gary, yeah, 1 hour, it's okay. So don't know about the others. All right. Who's the next? I think no one else. I think it's back to Gary. All right, Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India. This is Papa Yankee 2 Radio November and the Worldwide Net.
Okay, very good indeed. Papa Yankee 2 Radio November. Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India returning. Okay, 100% Ed, and a very good point there, Mike. I was just at one stage thinking of syncing with you guys in the UK, not necessarily with the guys anywhere else. But I think 1 hour is fine. I think we start next week. We'll just hear what everyone has to say, and then we can try it next week. It'll just be an hour later then, which actually suits us, suits me. Then it gives us a bit of time to do something on a Sunday. I'm just trying to see if there's any other comments. We also have other listeners, of course, or viewers. As usual, Oscar November 4 Alpha Alpha Hotel in Belgium. What did he say? 10 degrees, Albert? You said 10 degrees Celsius. Okay, over here it's 29 degrees. It's quite hot today, but it's overcast, luckily. I did mention Johan, ZS6JPL. And then we have ZS6 Yankee Lima Bravo and ZR6 Juliet Victor. And then we also have Phil, Mike Zero, Papa India Tango. I think I must learn how to write, Phil. My handwriting is terrible. Mike Zero, Papa India Tango. That's Phil. And then we, of course, have Echo India 8 Delta Juliet. Good afternoon to you. Watching, Don. Nice to have you on there, Don, as well. I don't know if you're on YouTube or direct. And then, of course, we have the South African lot all watching. So that's great. Okay. The time, I think next week we'll start at, what's it now, 1400 hours UTC. We'll just publish it around. We're going to move it up 1 hour. So it sort of compromises. Poor Ed's up very early on a Sunday to partake, and it can be problematic for all. Of course, the Indian chaps aren't coming up. Hello, Keith in West Guernsey. Welcome aboard. GU 6 Echo Fox Bravo. That's a nice one. You're welcome to come up and chat to us too. You must just tell me, and I'll if you can come up and transmit, Keith, then we'll give you a turn, of course. So let's see. Back to, thank you. Also watching David, Golf 6, Charlie Zulu Hotel. Good afternoon to you, Dave. And I think we start next week. You can discuss CNC. Okay. Yeah, that must be Keith, I presume, Mike. But thanks for the compliments on the pictures there. From you, Mike. Yeah, and Leon, it makes a huge difference, No, man, there's no comparison. It's okay when you just bring on the one camera and you're on with that. Yeah, it looks great. Absolutely no problem. But when you flick in the full frame, no, it's chalk and cheese. Honestly, now you're talking. Hello, Martin. Better late than never. My goodness, nice to see you. He is the chairman of the British Amateur Television Club and also engineer at BBC. But I hope you retired again, Martin. Martin, can I pass it to you? And will you kindly pass it to Tom then? G4FKK to get your amplifier running. This is Zulu Sierra 6 Yankee India. Sorry, only seeing you now, Martin.
Ah, well, that looks promising. Oh, and that sounds promising. Yeah, you caught me on the hop there, Gary. I thought I'll tuck myself on the end there, then I should be ready. Let's find OBS and see if we've got a camera. Anyway, yeah, very good afternoon, morning, evening to everybody. Sorry I'm late on parade. No, I've not re-retired yet, Gary. So I've got very limited time at home. So every time Anne sees me, she thinks of something else I'm supposed to be doing. I've literally just come down from fetching all the Christmas decorations from the loft, which is not one of my favourite occupations, although it's slightly better than putting them all back again after Christmas. So there we go. Not much to report. I suspect I'm coming up for my last week or maybe two back at the salt mine, Gary. But we'll see. I had a murderous trip back from Manchester on Friday. They'd cancelled the train before, and the train I was on was absolutely packed, and they decided to keep... Usually when that happens, they get rid of the seat reservation system. So if you're there early, which I was, you can grab a seat. But I kept getting thrown out by people who'd reserved the seats. My open return ticket didn't have a reserved seat. But luckily I did find one in the end, but quite a few of them, well, probably several dozens of people had to stand all the way from Manchester to London, which is a miserable thing on those trains. 1400, yes. Yes, that would be more convenient here, I suspect. Although I can just hear lunch arriving, so we're late having lunch today. Anyway, it's enough waffle for me. I did see. I thought I saw Tom earlier, and thanks for announcing me on the chat there, Tom. I've not had a chance to look at your latest inventions yet, but I will do that hopefully next weekend. But I wasn't sure if it was you or not, but it sounded like you. But when I glanced at the screen, I thought, well, that's not Tom. Anyway, it's probably my memory failing. So you asked me to put it round to Tom, so I'll do that now. Round to you, Tom, ZR6TG and the Group G for Fox Kilo Kilo, over.
Hey Martin, G4FKK, Zulu Romeo 6 Tango Golf. Good to see you there. Hey Martin. Okay, sounds working. Yeah, it's still me, just lots of less hair. Yeah, you need to go finish your retirement now, so that you go re-retire. There's a lot of things I want to play with, and I need you to be available. But good to see you there. And I hope all is well on your side. Made a few notes here. Oh yeah, Leon. Yes, so it's 70 centimeters simplex. It's only simplex. I mentioned the 2 meter purely because I got a preamp for the 2 meter as well while I was ordering, but I'm not using it for the green cube. The green cube is 70 centimeters up and down. Switch here to... So Ed, I'm using G-Predict on my side, and yes, it's I had a very similar problem. I could decode just fine, but the satellite never picked me up, and it wasn't until I got the uplink working on the Doppler side as well before I could get in. Now I get in perfectly every time. If I can receive, I can definitely get in, but it was a bit of a pain. But G-Predict, it's got... Let's see if I can open it up here. If you set up your radio on G-Predict, it actually has a provision for, I don't know if you can see there, but it's got a provision for simplex transmission and receive. And what it does is it also monitors your PTT on the radio. So when you start transmitting, it detects it and basically changes the frequency of your transmit. Transmitting on the RX, transmitting on the RX Doppler adjusted frequency, I also got in once in a while, but the big thing was the uplink. The uplink is fairly important. And then yes, I did see it switches between 300 board and 1200 board every now and again. I like the 300 board for the codes. The code's a lot easier. But yeah, you're right. There's a lot of bigger room for collisions with the 300 board. But to be honest, the passes over Africa are fairly quiet. so collisions wasn't that much of an issue yet. I think it makes it a bit challenging from South Africa to work the DX sites because I can only work them all on low elevation. Once it's over Africa, then ST2NH and Jean-Marc from Mauritius are basically the guys that I can always get on there. And then, yeah, obviously Lucky as well. Lucky is on every time. I always chat to him. We had a little bit of a rag chew this morning over the Digipeater, just talking about the antennas and stuff like that. So that worked quite well. But yeah, look at your uplink Doppler. It's a big part. If you can decode, then you're almost there. But the uplink Doppler is very important on the satellite. But it's quite impressive, the reach of the satellite, considering I think I said there's like 100 milliwatts on there. You know, at 5,000 kilometers, it works quite well. Mike, yeah, you should actually still give the green cube a try. I know of guys that are actually doing it with a handheld, and even 70 sems that's only on an azimuth rotator. So they've basically just angled the antenna a bit, and then they can work the more lower elevations as well. So I can definitely recommend it. It seems like there's a lot of guys. I see in America there's been guys doing it with the Alaskan Arrow, basically handheld working the green cube, which almost makes me feel bad that I'm using so much technology to do the same thing that they're doing outside portable. But yeah, it's a lot of fun, and I think most of us on the DATV side should also be able to contact each other via the green cube one way or another. So I'm always up for scheduling something to give it a shot. Okay, that's all from me. Switch back to my nice haircut. There we go. I don't think I have anything else to talk about. I'll be back next week again, hopefully to show off my new antenna for the Leo/Meo station. Mike, you mentioned quickly that about an 11 AM net on the QO-100 SSB. Is that the AMSAT UK one? Because I've been trying to find out when it is, but I keep on missing it. So I'm wondering if that's the one you were talking about, 11 AMs on Sunday. I'm assuming that's UTC. I'll have a look there. Okay, I think that answered all the questions. I'm going to hand it back to... Where's my little schedule? I think it's Leon that needs to take it. Oh, it's the... okay, 10:30 UK time. Okay, thanks for that. I'll check it out. Okay, Leon, over to you. ZS1, Leon, frequency 435310. Okay, I'm going to stop. Leon, ZS1 Mike here from Zulu Romeo 6 Tango Golf.
Okay, thanks, Tom. ZR6 Tango Golf in the group, ZS1 Mike returning. Yeah, okay, and from the critical uplink, I presume you're running SSB and not FM or Gaussian modulation or any of those fancy things. It's just SSB. It sounds like. I don't know. We'll talk. I first want to see if I can receive it. If I can receive it, then I'll put in a bit more effort. Okay, for the rest, okay, Mike's amp, yeah, that's a lot of power for such a small pallet, 300 watts, good heavens. Yeah, okay, good. And yes, welcome Martin FKK. I haven't seen you for a while. And yeah, nice to hear that you're still keeping the BBC running. Okay, I'm still busy packing chemicals and labeling them and so on, and I think I've got another 3 boxes to do. Then I'm sort of done for the moment. But they keep on coming in, which is nice. Can never have too many different chemicals. Okay, all noted about the camera difference, Gary, yes. As I say, the faded out of focus background, I think, is easier on the thing as well. Okay, that's it from me. I shall now give it back to Mike. Sorry that I've skipped Ed, but I think I'll keep it in that sequence now. And I also agree, 1 hour shift sounds fine. Not that it really bothers me. 2 hours would also work, but yeah, we try the 1 hour one first. Okay. There was some. No, it was Mike that Martin that came in. So G0 Mike Juliet Whiskey for the group from ZS1 Mike.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thanks for letting us join in there, Gary. Yeah, we've had a QSO via QO-100 before on DATV. So, yeah, I've watched you guys most Sundays, but always been joining late because of lunch. But if you're going to alter the time, can probably join in a little more often. Anyway, I'm Keith, GU6EFB. Live on the island of Guernsey, which is a small rock in the English Channel, about 100 miles from the coast of the UK and about 35, 40 miles west of the coast of France. So, yeah, stuck in the middle of the English Channel. Been on QO-100 on the narrowband transponder almost since the day it opened. Been watching the DATV for quite some time, but it's taken me a while to get round to transmitting. But yeah, I'll give you a quick rundown. We're just using here the Easy DATV Easy, the latest version, straight into a Line Mini, a little home-built amplifier, I don't know, a few hundred milliwatts out, and that's driving a larger pallet amplifier, giving about 40 watts out to QO-100, to one of Mike's potty patch feeds on a 1.2 meter prime focus dish. So that's the setup here. Anyway, thanks for letting us join in. I won't hog it. I'll pass it round to Mike. G0MJW in the group, GU6EFB.
Thanks, Keith. All good. Good to see you again. The reason I mentioned CNC is that I don't know if you know, but in the early days, probably a year ago, Gary was making some really nice amplifier cases using CNC. And knowing as we all do that you have now got this new CNC, I won't say toy, but this new CNC lathe and mill at the Works QTH, then might be interesting to compare notes and see what you can do with them. But yeah, very interesting that. Yes, okay. Tom, I'll have to have a look at the satellite green cube and see if I can access it terrestrially. I've got a 9700, so I don't think I need anything apart from software to operate through the satellite. So it shouldn't be too hard. So maybe I'll have a go at setting that up. It's not like in the old days. You just have to do things like do a direct connection to the digital modulator. You don't anymore because it's all built in. So yeah, I'll have a go with that. And what else? Good to see you, Martin. I was wondering where you were. I'd assumed that you were at lunch and that was why you weren't about, but you're about to have lunch. So if we're an hour later, maybe you'll have had lunch, and that would be better. So let's try. But apologies, I won't be on next week, nor will a few others, because we have a round table, a microwave round table. It's actually on the Saturday in the Midlands of the country. But we'll be coming back on the Sunday, and I think people want to do some 24 gigahertz experiments, so I won't be back in time for the net. I wouldn't have thought. So there you go. Anyway, looking forward to that actually, because we don't get together all that much, but it is picking up. The meeting in Paris saw a lot of people who I haven't seen in person for quite a long time, and the meetings before that a few weeks ago in London. It was good to see a lot of people. So we are getting back together, and in the RSGB convention as well, and the AMSAC convention. So things are picking up. Anyway, let's hope it continues in that vein and things don't go bad again. Right, with that, I think I have to pass it to Ed. So sorry, Ed, about the incorrect order of things at the moment, but hopefully it'll all work out. And good to see you're using SDR console as well. So I will have a go at that. I notice it's just gone out of range for us if your map was accurate, Tom. But I don't know when the next pass is. It probably won't be for some time because of the higher orbit, but it won't be all that long. Right. So over to you, Ed. I think G0 MJW.
Yeah, I saw morning. Then I remember that I forgot to put my weekly cartoon. Hi, Marty. Nice to see you. Also, Keith from Golf Uniform 6, Fox Echo Bravo. Good. Very nice. Forgot to mention Leon. I don't know, camera experiment. Yeah, but the full frame is totally different. Much more resolution. And I agree with Gary. Leon is Chuck E. Cheese different, cheesily, because we can see or your cheesy face. No, just kidding. But for sure, there's a resolution is much higher than the other one. What else? Yeah, 1 hour ahead is nice. It's gonna be my 11 local, so just before lunch, which is great. Actually, on Sundays, yeah, we get lunch a little bit later, like 1:30. But you know, 11 would be perfect for me. So if it's better for the people in the UK, I'm not sure about the people in India. Yeah, I miss them. Yeah, they used to participate here on the net, but I don't know. Maybe yeah, it's maybe we talk to Saro, Gary, just to confirm. Anyways, but next week 1 hour ahead, that's fine. And Tom, I thank you very much for the tip. I'm already downloading G Predict, right? Yeah, G Predict, and I'm glad that it is capable of doing Doppler correction on a simplex mode. That's fine, and I think that's really my problem. Yeah, because I tested with different scenarios, and you know, everything keeps the same. Reception is okay, transmission not okay. So I think this is the Doppler effect, and I would say to Leon, yeah, Leon, we are using USB to receive and transmit. USB, yeah. So that's it, guys. Thank you very much for this very nice net. Thank you, Gary, for handling it and retransmitting on YouTube so many people can enjoy, at least to view. And see you guys next week, 1 hour later. 73 to all, and greetings from Brazil, Papa Yankee 2, Radio November, and back to you, Gary, Zulu Sierra 6, Yankee India.
Please take it, Martin, and then
Sorry, I assumed you were. I assumed you were going to take it, Gary. So I've been allowed to have lunch in the shack. So apologies for that. And yeah, well, great to see everyone. Tom, that's a very funky haircut. I like that. I've got to the stage now where I just go in and say, when they say, oh, what do you want? Well, short back and sides, a bit. Leave as much on the top as you can to hide the bald bits. But, yours looks very, very modern, very good. And interesting on the Green Cube satellite. I didn't even know anything about that till I saw your post or email yesterday. So I'm completely out of the loop. So I'm hoping to have finished working. It'll be the end of next week at the earliest, and hopefully that will be it. Then I can get back across what's happening. I've been neglecting the BATC as well, Gary, so it's been a bit full on this project at work. Anyway, it's all gone well. The first studios we built in Birmingham are on the air now every day, and we were operations proving tomorrow up in the studio in Manchester, so that'll hopefully go live the week after. Leon, good to see you. Cracking picture from that. I'm assuming it's a new camera because it's very, very good, and your sound is just excellent. Proper BBC quality there, Leon. Much better than mine, I think. Let's have a look. Yes, mine's a bit USB headset-ish, really. I've got some nice microphones here. Maybe one day I'll set that up properly, Leon. See if I can sound a bit more like you there. And good afternoon, Keith. Good to see you too. Anne was in and out of the shack delivering lunch and things while you were on. So I said, oh, look, that's little Keith. Keith and I first met, well, it must be, what is it? Over 40 years ago. Anne and I were on holiday in Guernsey, and it was a national field day, and I struggled up the hill upon which they were performing, as it were, and this very young lad was very friendly, showed us around the island, and it's a lovely place to go if you're a radio amateur for holiday, actually. Everyone's very friendly there, and Mike, GU4EON, I hope he's still going strong, Keith. His mum invited Anne and I around for dinner one evening, and he lent me a 2-meter handheld as well, so I was able to keep in touch with the locals. Anyway, that's a brief history of me and Keith there. Okay, about the round table, Mike. Again, nice pictures from you, and good luck with the 24 gigs. I wonder, are you on 24 gigs or? Is that Knowles Preserve? I think Gareth has been trying to get on 24 gigs as well. Maybe he's done it already. And Ed, unfortunately, I was collecting a glass of wine actually when your cartoon was on, so I missed the cartoon. But I'm sure we'll see it again. And yes, it's a shame that because we had quite a lot of VU stations. It was Balu, Saro, Chan, Chris. Quite a few used to come on fairly regularly, so as you say, we'll have to check with Saro and see where they've all gone. Right. Well, I think that's it from me. So thanks for letting me in. Sorry I was late. Hopefully, with the time change, I'll be a bit more prompt next week if I'm able to be on. So with that, I'll put it back to you, Gary, and I will look forward to the next time I see you all. ZS6. Oh no, sorry, it's round to Tom, isn't it? Oh no, hang on. I haven't seen you for ages, Gary. I'll let you toss it up between you and Tom. I put it round to Tom last time, but you'd put it round to me, so I think it's about time you wrapped things up, maybe, Gary. So ZS6 Yankee India to take it with the group. G4FKK signing off. See you all next week, hopefully. Cheerio.
Okay, Martin, G4FKK, ZA6YI returning. Yeah, nice to see you again. Say hi to Anne from us. And you're very fortunate to get your lunch in the shack. So as from next week, we'll try it an hour later. Hopefully it will help everybody to do their thing. And yeah, I think that's a good suggestion. Instead of the 2 hours, to go 1 hour there. Thanks, Mike. We also just want to say hello to Tobias Delta Lima 7 Tango Juliet. Very nice to see you on the YouTube link. And hello, Keith. Yes, we have chatted. I remember talking with you not long after the satellite went up on the narrowband side. I must tell you a story. Leon and I, we were doing some tests, and I'm trying to receive the guy, and I can't get him. And I eventually had my big ICOM, very nice receiver, the R9000 or whatever it is, had that out. I just couldn't receive. So I thought, now I'm going to have a cup of tea. And I said to my wife, no, hell, I don't know what the heck I'm doing wrong. I just can't get these guys. And it's about 3 hours worth of battling. So after tea, I went outside because I'd had it up on the bottom patio. And to discover, I didn't have the LNB switched on. So that was dumb. Just popped it on and they jumped to life. And it's never been the same since. And you know what? Today I had the same problem on the ride receiver. I just couldn't get this thing to lock. It didn't even want to come up. So I eventually disconnected it and used the receiver to go straight into the mini tuner I have to do the YouTube link. And I thought, okay, it's working, got that working beautifully. I thought, now let me find out what's going on. And Stu's nuts, forgot to switch the transformer on. It's at the bottom of the table, so I didn't notice it was off. So these things happen. Anyway, I'm going to wrap up the net and then just throw the ball in the air for whoever wants to continue. I want to thank all the guys on. We had 21 viewers on today. Thank you for coming on. Really appreciate it. And all the listeners or viewers, whatever you want to call it, on the satellite itself, always welcome, guys. And it's always interesting. Today we had some good things. Yeah, I definitely think you must put that cartoon back up, Ed. It was good, and I think Anne would have a laugh too. So I think Martin needs to see that. Right, with that, I'm going to say 7-3 to everybody. Thank you for watching. And I'll just throw the net in the air and back to you, Tom. Thanks for the update on this new satellites. Really interesting. And you've solved stuff. And by the way, Tom has got a link, and he's also written some nice articles about it, which I'm sure everyone will find very helpful. So, Tom, back to you, sir. And I'll say 7-3 from this end, closing the net, but let it continue as long as it needs to. ZR6 Tango Juliet, ZA6 Yankee India.
Just Tom, just a minute, just to put the cartoon back to Marty, especially for Marty, because I don't know, I identify this cartoon with Marty, and I don't know why. I remember Marty saying this. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Thank you, Gary, 7312. Back to you, Tom.
Thanks, Ed. Papa Yankee 2, Romeo, November. I couldn't. I saw the picture just fine, but your audio was a bit jerky. I don't know if it was a problem on my side. We've been having some windstorms, so my dish moved slightly and my reception isn't as good as what it needs to be. Okay, thanks, Katie. Thanks for running the net there, and thanks to everybody on the net today. It's good seeing everybody. Leon, you can actually, there's two clients available, sound modem clients. The one is if you're running in FM, and the other one if you're running in SSB. But the FM one, the signal, you need a very good signal to noise ratio. So the SSB one just works so much better. But yeah, we're doing it on SSB. Let me know if you receive it there, and then we can try it out. The G-Predict seems to be working quite well. Obviously, it depends on your radio and you're hooking it all up. But on my side, I'm using the ICOM. I posted the write-up in the chat, so you can have a look. But if you have questions, feel free to drop me a mail, and we can see if we can get it sorted out. I think it'll be a really cool contact if we can try something between South Africa and Brazil. And then I also wanted, the hour difference thing for next week, it's fine by me as well. It's not a problem at all. I think that's everybody. Martin, yeah. Drop me a mail when you've decided to go get you to retire again, then we can catch up. It's been too long. It's overdue. I see you've also had issues with Ed's audio, although Mike didn't have issues, so I don't know. But yeah, we got the picture loud and clear there, Mike. Ed. Okay, that's everything for me. I'm gonna pass it on to the list as well, while we're carrying on. This will be my final, but I'll still be listening for a bit. Okay. Who was next? It was Leon. Leon, I'm gonna send it to you, and then I guess it'll go all the way back to Martin again. Yeah, well, he doesn't have to retire and do nothing. He can just retire and play with the hobby. Okay, cheers, guys. There is one Mike here from Zulu Romeo 6 Tango Golf 73.
Nou, wat is het nou weer? Hey? Oh. Scan and June started tuning in. Sorry, guys. We've just gone into load shedding and everything went black, and I quickly had to. I didn't have the UPS, the indoor UPS running, so both computers shut down, and I had to boot everything. So I've missed Gary's over, and I got the latter end of Tom's over there. So I'll also make it my final. 73's from Worcester, South Africa, and see you next week. 1 hour later. Now, what's that? Is my audio not right, or what is wrong now? No, I've got audio. Right. So I'm so confused now with who takes what. Anyway, at least I know now the satellite's frequency, 300/1200 baud upper sideband. So at least I can start listening for it. Okay. Right. I presume you need to use circular polarization for reception. I think that tiny little thing's probably just got one little quarter wave sticking out somewhere, and it most likely tumbles and goes wild, so circular should be best. Okay, right. Next man to take it. This is 73s from ZS1 Mike, and see you next time. Bye.
Yeah, okay. Thanks, Leon. Just wish everyone 7.3s. Thanks for letting us join in. Have some more interesting stuff, hopefully in the coming weeks. As Mike said, Gary, we've just got some very nice large CNC lathes and a big CNC mill. Yeah, big stuff. So we're all learning how to use it. So that's going to be fun in the coming weeks. Yeah, I've been playing with the Green Cube. Been able to receive it okay, but I haven't actually got to transmit yet. Do have steerable array, so it's just playing around with it. Just had a look at gpredict, but it's obviously Linux based, so nearly everything we do here is Windows based. So yeah, kind of me and Linux, we don't exactly get on too well. I'm getting a bit too old for that. As Martin said, we met probably getting on for 40 years ago. So hi there, Martin, and say hi to Anne for me as well. Okay, 7.3's all, and round to Mike. G0MJW in the group.
No. Ah. Yeah, I think Mike said it signed, but... Oh. So I thought I'd pop up for one more. But yeah, I remember that holiday, Keith. It was brilliant, and so you were very hospitable, showing us around the island and various good takeoff points for RF, etc. I think you were still at school, so it's and I was only 20-something, so it's probably over 40 years ago, Keith. That's scary, isn't it? Right, see you later, chaps, and we can't wait to see what you're going to do with those mighty machines, Keith. Oh, and Ed, thank you for the cartoon. I just went and told Anne what it said, and she was less impressed than I thought she might be. But I did suggest she took it. I've taken a picture of it, so I'll print it out for her choir master. See you later, chaps. G4FKK is off and clear. Bye.